Hi guys, good afternoon. Welcome to our live video from Royal Atenea. We have Camille here as well, and Ian as well is on board.
Morning.
Ian is busy as always. He's working. He can't stop.
First of all, we would like to thank you for the last few new views that you put up and the comments that we got. We're really happy. Our subscribers are coming up as well, so it's good. And today Camille is going to ask us some information so you guys know more about us and the situation we're having and all the stuff that we still have to do.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Because I think the story is very interesting, but not many people knows what exactly is going to happen. So this is what we try to get today out of the video. So let's see if anybody joins and see the journey.
We still have two there. Melanie is online, and the other guy, who's the other guy? I can't see the names, but
definitely
welcome.
Someone you know. Yes. So maybe we start with the whole story, like the moment you purchased the boat. When was it? Was it in Malta? Or?
No, we purchased the boat in Spain. We went to see another boat, but we didn't end up buying that one. And then a friend of mine told us about this one, which was out of our budget, but we went to look for it anyway, because it was a Jongert, so it's a very famous brand of boats. And we were lucky because the guy that was looking after it, he put the boat up in the yard because they were doing some maintenance, so we had the chance to look at it. But when we looked at the boat from the outside, we didn't see any damage, nothing. We only knew about this damage in the cockpit, we knew about it. And inside we couldn't see the hull because the hull was built up that all the wood was fitted that you cannot take it out to inspect, which is bad.
Yes.
But obviously if you're buying a boat, you cannot go and break the bedroom or something. Oh, I want to look.
Yeah.
So we asked for a survey. So we got the ultrasonic guy from Spain, which played us over because he gave us a bad report, but because we weren't there to visually see the report, because we had to go back to Malta. So we bought the boat anyway, and we did the trip. And then when we came here, we found the real damage. So, but we're still happy to have the boat, even if it was a big challenge for us, big project. But we're still happy that we have the boat.
Yeah, but obviously it's the huge risk because when you take the boat, you only test a little bit.
Yes, when you go buy a boat. My advice is that you always take your surveyor, your personal surveyor, and not trust anybody else.
Yeah.
That's the biggest. But like I tell Ian and he tell me as well, if we took our surveyor, we don't have a boat. We're still looking for a boat.
And we fall in love with the boat immediately.
And
so it was for me, I love these. I knew these boats already, and it was like a dream, you know.
Yes.
And I'm super happy because now we know what we have. We're doing what we love.
Yes, but Ganga said.
And even if we bought a boat, I always told that Ian. I said if we buy a boat, we're still going to modify it.
You want to sit in the middle?
We're still going to modify it to our needs.
Yes.
Because for what we want to do, we want a boat that you're going to live on it. So you want something that you're comfortable, that you have what you want, which in our case we go. That's why we're having that platform at the back.
Water line.
You know, we have the water line, the length.
60 foot, 59 under the water, so it gives you speed when you're motoring or sailing, especially when sailing. We can reach those 9-10 knots easily. You know.
And we have space for we all have friends, you know, and
the boat is spacious.
It's spacious, you know.
Yes.
You can have friends come here, join you. You're not cramped. Some 60-footer, you go inside, 3 people you start feeling there in the saloon. We can sit 6 people easy. You used to have your space.
It's different. For to give you an idea, the water tank is 3,000 liters, and the diesel tank is over 3,500 liters. For a 60-footer, this is not normal on a sailing boat. You're not gonna find this capacity of water and fuel, you know. So it gives it also a long range. You can have a nice water maker, space for generator.
Yes.
You can make your own water, so it's good.
You can
for-
go
for
isolate for.
ocean going, you know.
I mean, the fuel we have, we can cross the Atlantic. No other 60-footer can cross the Atlantic on engine
Okay.
without taking fuel, you know. And even like, for example, what happened now,
You have to have
hopefully,
a crossing with no wind, and if you're gonna motor it
if,
under air, which is
which is impossible.
almost
You never know. If forbids you lose the mast, you've got a big range
Yes.
that you can still go. So it's good.
if we go diesel.
If we go
We
diesel.
don't know yet.
But did you ever see, like, if you pass the other boat, that they losing the mast, and they like with the mast on the side or something?
Some boats,
happens,
yes,
it
it
can
happened.
happen.
So it happened before. Oh.
Make a mistake.
If you,
something
if, like I
over
told
the
you
score,
before, if you
or-
make a mistake, if you're in bad weather, you have all the rig, and you make a mistake, some people continue on the sails.
Easy
When
to
when
say-
it's bad
easy-
weather,
easy to lose
you
a
have
rig.
to reef, to take a reef. You have to make the sail smaller, and then eventually even you have to close them down like we had to do on the voyage over here. We had to close all the mainsail, all the mizzen, and we were just using a part of the small Genoa. And that was still, at 65 knots, that was still struggling to keep up. And
Yeah,
at the end,
Not
at the end we
wholesale,
closed
just,
it.
Just a small,
Just
piece.
to keep the boat steady.
We had to
you know.
keep a. We didn't have a storm jib, so we had to use what we have, and we had to because if you, as soon as you put the sails in and you try to motor in those conditions, man, it's impossible.
And how long it took to come from
Boat
the Spain
starts to
to
roll
Malta?
like crazy.
It took us altogether 6 days, but we spent 2 days in Sardinia waiting for weather.
We left on Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, we arrived New
and
Year's
we
Eve.
arrived New Year's Eve.
Okay.
1 week exactly. And we stopped 2 days in Sardinia.
For
Luckily
the
we
weather.
arrived before the night.
Two
And,
nights we stopped because we arrived in the evening,
in the
about 5
evening.
o'clock. We spent the whole day there, a
And,
night,
and
and
then
then
we
we
left
left in the morning
in the
next
morning.
day.
And we followed the storm. Which,
Mm.
it was still then. It was relaxed then from Sardinia to Malta. You know.
We didn't
From
have
Gan-
much
From
wind.
Gandia to Sardinia was.
Yeah, the
hardcore, you
first
know, it
first
was-
leg was hardcore because we didn't have an autopilot,
The
so
boat had nothing work. You know,
where you had to
Like,
steer all the time between. We were 4 people, but me and him and Manji were doing all, the steering because Pete was new to it, you know, and didn't have
No,
the
obviously.
experience.
It was an adventure. It was a
It
crazy
was a great,
adventure.
so
The
I
boat-
mean the
boat
guys
got us
who,
here safe. We were super.
we were lucky as well because the guys we
Super
had on
lucky.
board, nobody was seasick.
Mm.
Sometimes I had the experience before. I have a crew with me, but half of the crew was seasick, so you end up alone.
Mm.
That's very important when you are doing a voyage. If you have people that are that can get seasick and you know that they are going to be out of action, you have to have somebody extra
Mm.
because otherwise you end up alone.
Fair enough.
You know.
Yes.
It's,
But now that the idea is maybe end of October, it goes to the water.
now that's the plan. We've got that piece at the back that we found last to fit. After that one, we start preparing the boat for the final. But before we close that one, we cannot.
We were
prepare.
ready. We were ready to go on just that small one that you showed yesterday.
Yeah.
They were leaving that one up for making us easy to come in and out, not coming from the leather all the time. And then we were cleaning here at the back to get everything ready for the paint. And we start finding the rust. We kept going in. If you see rust, you keep going in. And then we cleaned the, maybe you can show them later on in the video. We cleaned the cement that was there, poured there. And we found that there is a shaft. The shaft goes inside a tube. the shaft that turns the propeller. It's inside a tube with 2 seals and full of oil. And then there's a reservoir in the engine room that this takes Royal Atenea, and there is a feed with a 12mm pipe that goes one in front of the tube and one goes at the very stern of the tube, so it keeps the pipe always full with oil. And the shaft is turning in this oil, and the bearings are always lubricated and leaving the water, the seals leave the water outside, you know. A very good system, old system. But we found out, kept digging, that this pipe going to the back was finished.
Was broken.
Completely broken in pieces. It didn't rust because it's not of steel. It's
Copper.
of copper. But it's been there was water coming in, and mix of water, oil, and the cement, and it has corroded completely, and it's been eaten.
But
So
because the boat is like
that
old,
we were lucky again, because if we didn't find this one, we would have put, because we have a new shaft in stainless steel, new bearings, new seals, everything new, ready to go in. And if we try to rush, we would have put them in. We would start putting the oil in the engine room, and the oil would never fill because it's going in outside, you know, over here. So we would start looking for this problem, have to take.
And we found out because we were putting water in the tube to clean it, and water kept coming up.
Kept coming up, you
And
know, so
we said we have a problem
there's
here.
something
How
wrong
come
here,
is
you know?
water coming up? At first we thought that the tube itself was broken, but luckily it wasn't. It was only the pipe.
the pipe that feeds the oil.
Because the
into
tube, the thickness of the tube is 20mm.
It's like a steam pipe, you know,
No,
thick pipe, and then
the
the,
thickness
shaft
of
turns inside this tube in oil. So this put us too easy 2-3 months behind this. It's a big job, as you can see, too big.
Obviously,
plates
we were
and
supposed to
even
go in
bend
the water and all
How
this.
they are bent, the
So
shape,
now in
it's
October,
exactly
yeah.
on the stern, and we found that there's like a piece of bulkhead. The
Was missing as
it's
well.
missing, so we are making it like it was, this 10mm plate, steel plate.
So that's the plan, and hopefully end of October we'll go back in the water, and then we'll continue on the water. But as soon as the boat is in the water, we'll be very happy, you know, because
This will come off.
we know that at least we have the hull now, it's safe, and we can start the work on here, on the cockpit area. In the meantime, we'll take the masts off and do the inspection on the rigging to make new rigging, and we'll inspect the masts. Hopefully we won't find a lot of damage. There is some corrosion that
For
will,
sure. Look, you see where there's
will-
stainless steel? Those where the spreaders are,
Yeah.
they're stainless steel brackets.
Mhm.
They're attached directly to the aluminium.
They didn't put
I
any
don't believe there's
inspection,
even a
you know.
gasket or something.
There should be, when
to
you mix
eliminate the
materials, you have to put special coating or a gasket that
No,
they don't
but
touch.
we're
You
not
know?
gonna have no stainless steel.
We'll use aluminium.
Use
oh.
aluminium. So we will take everything off. It's gonna have. This is a good mast. I hope it's still in a good shape because it's old. The boat is 50 years old, and I believe the mast is 50 years old as well. I'm not sure, but they are good brand masts. You know, take for ocean going, and we will restore them. That's another refit. The rigging, 2 masts, the booms, the sails are already. The sails are
The
serviced and
Genoa on the front, the furler, we're going to change it to electric because it's easier. We're trying to modify the rigging for this boat that we can sail it single-handedly. Because if we are me and him, and maybe something happens to him, or maybe I'm sick, you know, maybe I have a cold, I cannot wake up, you can still go and move.
And you make it easy, even if the 2 of you we're sailing, we have a 5-day passage, 7-day passage, whatever, 3-day passage. You'll make it comfortable. You'll make it easy, you know.
You
can
have
rest,
to
you
autopilot, so if one breaks, you
can
have a
reef on
spare
your own, you
one.
don't have to wake him
Water,
up if it's not that
you
bad, and you can furl the
If you
Genoa
want
on
to
your
ferry
own.
Genoa or change the sails, you can do it on your
You
own.
have the autopilot.
Because
so
we
you can set the
mainly
sails
will
while
be
you-
me and him. We don't know. Maybe there's. So if we are me and him and we want to go somewhere, we don't have to wait for somebody to come.
to move
to move the boat.
It's a big boat.
We can move it on
60-foot
our own.
boat,
No?
yes.
And this one is lucky
But it's
because
possible.
we've got a big boat thruster as well. So if you want to maneuver,
And she's super maneuverable. The boat,
it's easy to
she
maneuver.
maneuvers very, very good. She has a big radar, and she turns in a dime. And with the boat thruster, makes it super more easy.
No, but the good thing is you know everything about it. So
Yeah, so
Not everything.
not everything, but
we
we
have to learn a lot because
It's a new boat,
we use
too.
the boat only for 2 weeks. 1 week to come, and we use it a little bit here in Malta, and that's it. We had to pull it up, and now look at the state of the boat. Now we know the boat. We know what we have fixed, and what the boat has, and the defects and the mistakes been done, and we're solving all those problems. But once we go in the water and we have this one ready and the rig ready, then it's a huge challenge where we're gonna place the winches, what winches we need, what systems we're gonna use for reef, for pulling the main up, and then once you have everything installed, you need to test and train the system and get used to it. But it's part of the.
but
the fun,
once
no?
Everything is ready, there'll be small like a party, so
Yeah,
friends can
so
come
of
and
course,
see.
so-
Not a small, a lot of parties because it's
the
been
main
a long
the
time
main
in
thing
here.
after here we go in the water once we finish the rigging and this one, then we can concentrate on the interior. So then, but the boat, and then you can go if you want to go sailing for a day, you can go sailing, you know, because you'll have all the rigging new, all the cockpit ready. Without interior, you can still go sailing.
We need to finish the shell. This
We need to
rust
fill
that you
everything,
see
you
has
know?
to stop
Yes.
here, you know. Now it's this step. The
Then
bottom
you
is
can
ready,
start
now the top.
enjoying yourself, because with portable toilet, if you want to have a toilet, you go to St. Julian's if you want and spend the weekend there and say, oh, we'll spend the weekend here, we'll do some work in here, you
Yes.
know,
And we're not in a big rush. We
and
have-
you're using the
we
boat,
have
you
3
start
years.
using the boat.
We're looking at a 3 years, let's say from now, September. 3 years, it's a long time, and we still have a lot of things to do. He's finishing his apartment, I'm finishing my apartment. We need to finish a lot of things before we leave as well, not only the boat.
Yes.
So we're not stressing ourselves. We're stressing a bit ourselves here, because here is very expensive. It's €700 a month for sitting here, for just sitting here. So
Yes.
once,
That's the way, once we are in the water, we'll be more relaxed. you
and
know.
those €700 a month that we're spending here, we can invest them in the boat,
Yes.
continue the project.
It's good, so, because we've been here now since October, July 2018.
2 years and 2 months.
But
So-
hopefully end of October we should get in the water, and even our followers will have a
We
better.
never imagined that we're gonna change so much. We never had not even a clue. We came for a small hole, you know, maybe you know this
We
area is
booked
damaged.
the yard for 2 months.
Impressive.
2 months. We booked the yard for 2 months. You
And we've
remember?
been 2 years.
60 days we told them, and we've been here 2 years now.
No, but now because you have the channel, so you give some updates, people know,
Yes,
they can
yes.
follow, and hopefully one day, yeah, we wait for that happy message.
Nah, in October, the thing will have a launch video, definitely, because that's the big day,
I think so, yes.
Yeah, it's
and
gonna be a big day.
and then obviously
Scary day.
in the future for
For us.
our followers, they will obviously follow up on Facebook. It's the live with videos. We're a little bit back at the moment, but the interior we're planning to film all the interior, which is for somebody who's building a boat like us or doing a big refit. It's a good help because we're not going to use wood. We have our own way. People will watch and learn what we're using. If they want any information, we can give them to. It's not a problem. But we have our own way of building the
We're
interior.
gonna keep it very lightweight, as much as we can.
Waterproof
Because
material.
we're
It
gonna
will
have
be.
a lot of systems and equipment on board, so we need to balance the situation, because we like diving, so we're gonna have a dive compressor or the dive cylinders. We're gonna we're gonna have a lot of equipment, you know me, weight, the SUPs and bicycles, and so this is all weight. So we're gonna try to keep very light, very strong, because it's important as well. We're gonna try to have all the interior, it's removable. You can take it off, you bring it back like it is if you want. It will be all in panels, bolted it, you know. We're constructing the system, designing the system at the moment. And it's gonna be in basically, no secrets, it's honeycomb.
Yeah.
It's a plastic honeycomb. And we still haven't decided if we're going for resin, isophthalic resin, which is the best resin you can buy, or we go epoxy. I would like to use epoxy for many reasons. But epoxy, then you have that money gap again, you know. It's a big difference. But we'll see.
Because we took 7 tons of wood from the accommodation inside. So we will be replacing those 7 tons, but in different ways, you know. Because accommodation will be less than that, but we'll compensate with the other stuff that we're adding extra, like diving compressors, water makers, and stuff like that.
But after all, why sailing? What is so special about sailing?
Sailing, it's you can go anywhere for free.
It's freedom.
You know, it's
Pretty,
the sailing bit of it is when you go out with the boat. You go out with the engine, then you put the sail up, and you switch off the engine, and you just hear the sea. You know, the waves. You hear nature. You don't hear anything else.
It's the best freedom you
It's
can
like
get.
when you go diving. You go diving, you jump in the water, and you just hear your breath and your bubbles. That's all you hear. It's another world. And with sailing, it's cruising. For what we do, you need to be a millionaire to do it on a motorboat, and you won't enjoy it.
And you can't, because a lot of these big yachts and stuff. Because with a motorboat, you're limited with the range of these.
Yes. You cannot cross an
With
ocean,
sail,
for example. You know.
you keep the rigging safe. You're unlimited. I mean, there's always wind. You know,
I've got good
only
sails.
on the equator you don't
Yeah.
find wind. You know.
No, but that's what you say. You're not in rush, so sometimes you wait a little bit. And
Yeah, we're not. I mean, if other channels, we follow a lot of other channels, you know, because we follow them because we like to follow them, and secondly,
Interesting.
you
You
learn
see
what they're doing. Everybody learns from each other. That's the sailing community.
yes.
Sailing community. Even when you are sailing, if you even in Malta, you go to some place, there's other people there. It's like a community, you know.
Yes.
And you learn always from other people learn from you. That's why it's good to have a channel as well, for people to learn from each other.
And the channel, because for us, we said at the end it's also for us.
Yes, it's
Because we said we're doing this thing, it's a dream of a lifetime.
Yes.
We bought this boat, so why don't we
film it. Oh, it's
You know, and try to film.
we're
what
not
doing.
going to do another project like this. Definitely,
Of course, so
It's-
definitely not.
it's a dream. That,
No, I think it's very nice story. It's good to share, and it's
And
very
in 10
inspiring.
years, maybe, hopefully,
For now,
we'll
some
see it
for
with
some
this-
followers,
we have
now
this
our
interview with
videos
Kamel,
might
you
not
know,
be.
you remember the boat, the stay, the holes everywhere.
Yes.
It's good to have.
It's good to have
And it's
it.
good to share it with other people as well.
I mean,
Also,
we have
why not?
some followers that communicate with us, you know, which they are doing. Some of them are doing the refits as well, like Mark Stacey and this SV Liquid.
There are
Um,
many huge projects.
There is
doing crazy
some
things,
people
big
ask
things.
you, how did you do this? How did you do this? And then you ask them, how did you do this?
Yes.
You know, and you're learning as well from each other. And even the channel is for our families and friends, because once we go,
It's a way to keep in touch.
it's
with
a
them
way
also
to
and
keep
see
in touch
where-
and see where we are.
exactly.
And even if our followers, friends, families want to come, they know where we are, you know, and they say, oh, okay, next month they'll be in that place.
Yes.
They'll call us, drop us a message, guys.
It's part of our dream to have friends
Can
and
we,
family and homes
you
and
have
to
space
come
for
and
us, we come for a
spend
week, 2
some
weeks,
time, you know, and do crossings or whatever.
It's good.
We're not
no?
gonna be alone all this time, you know. Then it will be even hard for the boat to move and.
Yes. No, but I think the best part is when the people come on the board with you, they
Yes.
can learn as well.
Of course.
Yeah,
So
of
they
course.
do the normal
You
things
always
and-
learn every day.
You learn something new
especially on
every
a
day.
boat.
You
There's
know,
a lot to learn. Even ourselves.
me and him,
learn,
we have
learn,
we
learn.
have 50 years of experience between us, but
Yes.
we still learn something new every day. And like with this project, we learned a lot how to do the work with the steel. You know how to
And we
bend
keep
the
learning
steel.
on the go. If I know this one, make it like this. It's a better idea. And you research. YouTube is a good engine to learn. You know,
Yes.
a good tool to learn. We learned a lot, and from friends and from like a lot of friends tell us you are crazy. It's true because with the money we're spending and everything, you could have bought a new boat or almost a new boat. But it's gonna be new.
I mean, you see the bigger picture. So I
It's
think
gonna be new, and we saved a 50-year-old Jongert Trewes because I don't know what would have happened with this one. Probably it goes for scrap, or they scrap it, you know, the steel. So it's
And we were
another nice
lucky it
thing.
was
She
a
saved-
Jongert,
She
no?
saved us to come
And
here,
we're saving her.
and now
no?
we're gonna save her. You know, there's this bond already. I feel it with the boat. You know.
Because
And then
even
we
for
also-
Jongert, for the company itself, this is a big project. It's because obviously, if you look on the internet, you don't find a Jongert refitted like we did with all this information. You know,
Normally it goes in a yard. This
they
would
do
happen in
refits,
Jongert
but
yard
they
in
just go
Holland,
in there.
and they do the refit there. But we like to do this work and refit boats, you know.
yes.
So we are limited. We are not. If Jongert would have been already ready in 2 years, you know,
Yes.
inside, outside, everything. But they have the tools and.
Yeah, but they were
company, you
for
know.
working full time. Oh, we're not working full time on it.
Yes.
But soon we will.
Soon we will, yes.
Soon we're gonna start full time, and hopefully from next year we'll be full time. I will be full time on it
So
from January.
the main
December
target
next year.
now is to go back in the water. That's the main target.
I think
We still have a lot of work to do, but once I see that hole in the back is closed, we can close the small one as well. Then we know that what we're doing is we're preparing to go.
And we add a lot of things as well to the boat. That's
Yeah,
why
we
it's
did
not
do.
ready. We're not just doing repairs. For example,
The
we
sail locker.
extended the sail locker. We made a new
Modified
hatch in
the
sail locker.
tanks.
We moved the winch more forward, the windlass. We made the sail locker. It's a bulkhead. It's a watertight bulkhead. When before it wasn't a bulkhead. We have also the crash bulkhead in the front, watertight as well, which it wasn't working. Now it's working.
A new grey water
we
tank,
made a new grey black water tank. We
modified the
we
tanks.
fixed the water tanks and modified. We changed the mast,
The base.
the base of the mast where you see the big mast.
yes.
It's resting on this big
Yeah,
Yeah,
pipe
like
here,
I was
the
explaining
support
before.
of the mast, and that was a big job. We found a disaster. We're lucky we didn't lose the rig because we found the bottom of the pipe was cut, and it was the mast was coming down.
Mhm.
And it was pushing the tank down as well, and the more down it goes, thank God we then stopped sailing with it, the rig's gonna come loose, and what's gonna happen, the mast's gonna go down. So this was another issue, you know. And we managed to do everything without taking the mast off. We were trying to get the mast off here, but it was complicated and very expensive, so we got jacks, we jacked the roof, and we have now 40 or 80 that one.
Gauge 80 and
Gauge-
15 millimeter steel. in the
Gauge
bottom.
80 steam pipe, and before there was only a gauge 20.
And we took the opportunity as well while we were doing that. We split the freshwater tank. We have a small tank that we're going to use just for water maker. So we'll have drinking water available anytime, you know. because we'll use the tank just for that, for drinking water. So that's our target. Hopefully end of October we'll have the big day.
And yeah, if people watching and they wanna ask anything, I think there is the section of comments.
Yes,
So they can
probably I will look at the comments later on if anybody left a comment, because we're doing it off the mobile, so we don't have looking at the comments now. So
yes, we try to maybe upload the picture after all as well, like a
Yes.
nice souvenir from what we did today. And yeah, I think it's quite fun. But
Yes.
anyway, if you're out there in the water, what was the biggest wave you can see? And like, you ever get scared or?
well, not really. I mean, with this one we've seen 7 meters from the stern. Those big waves.
Is it
But
scary?
it is for some people, but for me it's not, because I've seen bigger, and obviously I was on different boats, bigger boats, and if you know the boat and you know the boat is safe, you'll be okay, you know.
Yes.
With this one it was a bit different, because with this one we just relied on the boat. We know the boat is good for bad weather, but we didn't know the boat.
Yes.
Now we know the boat. Now I know that I can go out. If it's bad weather and I get caught in bad weather, I know it can hold, you know.
Yes.
With the sea, the most important thing is that you're not hard-headed with the sea. If you have bad weather, you have to heave in, follow the seas, and let it ride. If you try to beat against it, it will destroy you.
Oh, of course. So
With
Comparison.
nature, you don't
you're
don't
so
play
tiny,
with nature,
you know,
no?
in the middle of the ocean.
And also, it's responsibility. If you know there's a big storm coming, you don't go out. Some people do that. Some people know that there is a big storm coming, and they don't follow the weather, and they just go out, and then they get caught on it. But that's their fault, you know.
Yes.
But
It's lack of
sometimes
experience.
sometimes
You
know.
get caught in it, because
You have to be
sometimes
prepared.
you think that this storm, with the forecast, that if you leave now, you'll be able to manage, and maybe it comes early, or it goes faster, and it catches you.
Yes.
But that's a different story, you know.
But once the project is finished and you're in the water, then is it like a lifetime thing? You're gonna be on the boat all the time?
Well, I think so. As long as I'm healthy and we are healthy and nothing happens. It's always been my day. I've been on boats all my life. He's been on boats all his life. So I won't change anything. Not for nothing, you know. It's for nobody. I won't change the sea for nobody. Myself. I lived on the sea all my life, and that's part of me. It's
Moving house on the sea is the same, you know, but you can go.
I can
And
go.
on the-
You know, when you think about it, you have to think about it this way. You imagine you go to a place that's it's uninhabited, uncharted. You go there, you wake up in the morning. You can just go on the beach if you want, or go swimming, and nobody's going to tell you, "Oh, you cannot stay here, or you cannot do this, or you cannot do that." You know, you find some places that you cannot go and you cannot, but most of the places.
There's a lot to see. 10 years is not
No.
enough. You see nothing in 10 years. You'll see nothing. in 10
There's
years.
a lot of places to visit.
You see a lot, but compared to what there is to see, you will have seen nothing.
Mm. So maybe that's the magic about it.
That's the magic about it, because every day, if I get fed up here, I can pick up the anchor, put the sail up, and go.
And it's the lifestyle as well. We like this lifestyle of living on a boat. It's nice, you know. It's our life. When we get stuck in now Malta's becoming a city. For me, it's already a city. You know, busy and can't keep up with the time. And
Yeah.
on a boat, this stops. You know,
Time stops. So
it's different life.
you're not in a
I
rush.
really miss it.
And sometimes in some areas you have to follow the weather, like we were saying, with the monsoon seasons and the hurricane seasons. But that's normal. Oh, you just follow up. You move from one place to another accordingly
Mm.
to what's
It's
happening.
not you're just gonna go and you're gonna you're still gonna be working. It's a job.
It's a full-time
Yeah.
job.
You have
Yeah.
to keep the boat running. You have to keep the boat healthy. You have to study the currents, where you're going. You have to study before where you want to go if you never been, the weather, everything, even the area, if there's, you know, some dangerous reefs.
And that's
you're not
another good
charted.
thing with the channels of other.
So it's a constant, you know,
Yes.
but it's a different life. But then, like Daniel said, you arrive in a nice place, you'll visit the area, you'll go on shore, you'll have the tent there, you'll have the SUPs, kayaks, whatever, you know, and you swim and you diving and lots of diving for sure.
And you good fisherman or not?
Yes, you can live off the sea.
Eating fish a lot.
You know, it's,
Which
you,
we love, both of us.
you can catch fish. You can. We love fishing as well. So
We love fishing.
Yeah, because if you're lucky, you get the big one. It lasts for a few days.
We are
Yes,
lucky
but
in a way, you know.
even that, if you want to live off the land, of the sea, you know, it's you can live off the sea. It's you catch what you want to eat and that's it.
Mm.
You don't go and catch like 20 lobsters or 20 crabs or
Exactly,
you catch 2 lobsters, 2 crabs, you eat them. Next day, if you want to do the same, you go and do the same.
Nice place of pasta.
You know, it's, we will
Water
obviously.
you
it's-
make and you collect.
We
from
have
there.
water, collect water,
So-
we'll make our own bread.
Yes.
You live independently, isolated, you know.
Yes.
You eat what you find wherever you are.
And locals, you go to locals, a lot of places that you go, locals will come with you, with the kayaks, they sell you food or stuff locally, you know.
Mm.
And that's the
Problem
best
on
place.
long
So.
passages, long crossing, like from, for example, Galapagos to Marquesas, it's a long one. You spend 3-4 weeks at sea, and the fresh after 1
Fresh
week,
products,
you're not
so we
gonna have
finish,
fresh products, you know. But you get used to it. But you catch fish, it's fresh,
Yeah.
so you can eat fish almost every day if you manage to catch, because you don't always catch, you know. And sometimes you catch quite a sized fish, it will last you a long time as well. You have a
Have
good
you catch a
fridge-
big tuna?
fridge system and freezer.
We're modifying the freezers as well, and the fridges, we're making them, they were top loaders, we like them like a normal one, like the house one,
And they have more capacity as well.
more
hopefully.
capacity. We'll have the galley will be electric. It's something out of that rests your mind that you don't have to go and find gas, you know.
Our
Yes.
dream is to go electric. The boat will be fully electric, will have no oil, no diesel, and use electric power. It's a big dream, but even if we go with a diesel engine, we will still have the galley electric and most of the systems,
Electric.
winches and everything electric.
Okay.
Even the windlass is electric, bow thruster is electric already. No hydraulic systems, you know.
Yeah,
Not
so I
good,
guess-
also good, but you have to choose. And no gas on board, so the gas, it's another problem. Sometimes it's hard to find gas wherever you are, you know, or different connections or
And
whatever.
in Spain, we had to buy a second
And regulator.
cylinder and
So-
new regulator. And
And it's it's also dangerous to have gas on board, so you eliminate a danger, which is good.
even our tenders, we're planning, the dream is to go electric. So we don't need
Yes.
fuel for the tenders, you know. Because that's another thing. Fuel, petrol is like a bomb. It's worse than gas
You
sometimes.
have gas, petrol, diesel on board, you know, and
Yes.
it's safe. It's been used till now. A lot of boats have tons of.
A lot of
diesel,
everybody,
tons of-
almost everybody have. There is few boats that are electric, but,
But
the
there is
tenders,
also, when you run out of it, you have to go and look for it. So this, if you manage to have this, that you don't have to go and look for the diesel. Sometimes it's a problem. In some places you end up with a boat coming with jerry cans, you know, you have to go and find jerry cans and find a petrol station. It depends where you are. There's not always big ports and marinas, and you know. So it will be super more. It's very free sailing boats. It'll give you a lot of freedom if we can manage to not have a diesel engine and not have we'll be not oil dependent. You know, we'll be super free.
Different thing, yes.
yes.
But it's a big challenge. You know, it's not easy.
So shall we go around a bit, the boat, or what do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Show them a bit what
The biggest jobs.
We'll start from inside.
the
We'll,
boat is in a mess. Next week we're gonna start removing, because now we're moving. We have a garage where we have a lot of Royal Atenea belongings. And now we're starting to move. We found another place which is better for us. It's closer to Daniel and we have more space. That's why the teak deck, it's all on the side still here, because we have no place where to put it at the moment. So from next week we're gonna start moving all the things that we don't need on board and clean and give the boat a good clean. And even the things that we have in the garage will be moved to the new place.
Yep.
Which we will show you later on in videos. Our new base. it's very nice. I'm excited about it.
Yeah, we see Ian for the first time. How are we going? We're going from the...
yeah, we go from here. We
Yes.
start from inside.
Guys, maybe you see the video we posted when? 2 days ago?
2 days ago, yes.
Yes, I think the reception was very nice. We got the nice comments and appreciation. So let's see now. This is live.
So, this is what Ian was telling you before. This is the part that we found the last bit of damage. So here was full of cement. We had to clear all the cement because obviously it became sand because of the water. This base that you see is here, where the shifting is.
Yeah.
That's a new base for this mizzen that we will modify later on, because this is supposed to go all the way in
Yeah.
and sit over there. And modifications in here, we didn't do much except we changed the whole transom, because there was a lot of damage of the water that came in. And once we did that, we obviously put more strength on it, more beams, and we took the opportunity to have the window in the middle. It will be open, because over there, from that where the welding set is, that's going to be the cabin for Ian, and we'll have an entrance on the side here. So the saloon will be same size but different, because it had a lot of space that was wasted. So we'll still have the saloon here, and there will be a cabin there. The chart table and navigation area will be the same place, but it will be modified to our needs. And here we're going to have the freezer, which we had a freezer before, but it was top loader, so it was up until here. So now we're going up until under the window, so we have a bigger capacity, which is important to have. And we move here to the galley. The galley here, all the galley, we had to change the hull from outside. We'll show you later on, because there was a lot of damage from, as you can see, from the water that came up.
Yes.
From here.
Yeah, but anyway, looks like it's no job you wouldn't know how to fix it.
Yes.
You're ready for everything.
We're ready for everything. This is the diesel tank, and the modifications that we did to this, before they had it coming like this to the hull, so when water comes in, it was staying there. That's one of the reasons that this boat had so much damage, because all this area here that you see, 70 centimeters, all the way, it was changed because of this damage.
Yeah.
So we
Huge job.
eliminated that by modifying the tank tops and fitting them straight to the hull. Like that, if any water comes down, it drops down in the copper down.
This here, before the tank was cutting like this, so the water that was coming from the deck was staying in this pocket here.
Oh.
And that's what caused all the damages on this area where we changed. When we went higher, you know, so
Yeah.
a good, like this is all changed here, the top here, this one, all.
And this part as well, and because we did the change. This is the base of the main mast, This is the modification we did. It goes down with, you can see it on some of our videos if anybody is interested to see about it. And this tank here, we're going to use it for the water maker.
Yeah, because this is a big water tank here, 3000 liters.
Yep.
And we took a section of it, we made another bucket, we closed it. So we're going to use this for fresh water, for washing machine, for toilets, shower. And we left a part of it that's going to be just for drinking water. So even if we have one contaminated, or we try to never contaminate that one, that will never see, hopefully, water from shore supply. That will be only supplied with water maker product, the small water tank in the front.
And this is the grey water tank. This wasn't here before. We've built this because the only grey water tank that we had before was in the engine room, and it's not a small one, but we would like to keep the toilet in one tank, so it's easier. You don't have, and this one is much easier to clean than the one in the engine room because it's under the gearbox. So if you've got any blockages, you've got a lot of problems.
That's going to take only, that's going to be the
This
only
will only
water.
be grey water for the tank, for black.
Black
water.
and grey, black and grey that one. But the engine room one
Will
which
be
was
only grey
black,
water.
grey and everything.
The difference between black and grey water, black water is used toilet sewage, and the grey water is just from showers and the sinks and stuff like that, washing machine. And this is the sail locker. That's before we had this area from here all the way in there. It wasn't accessible. It was closed with wood. It wasn't watertight, so all this area was waste. So what we did a bulkhead here behind the bow thruster, and we opened the new hatch.
Yep.
So this one will be watertight, so it's safer because we're splitting the boat. So if, for example, you have a damage here, water is coming, it cannot come this way because there will be a watertight bulkhead here.
Yep.
And you will have access to it from there. That's why we had to move the windlass. The windlass was where the hatch is now. So we had to move it forward so we could access for a hatch. And we'll have two chain lockers now instead of one because we'll have two anchors. So we had to modify that area as well. Pretty much that's
the transducer box there.
this transducer box. This is where the echo sounder, the depth sounder, whatever people call it, because many people, and the valves were built that was a straight pipe to the hull, but we changed the system. That's the proper way that on a steel boat especially that have to be. That's so you take there's a flange there behind the box here. So the valve will connect to this one, and this one will bolt itself in, and with the gasket. Before it was just a pipe, so if you hit it or something, you break the pipe, you lose. Like this, it's more safer, because you've got a flange to flange. It's like on the ships, you know.
Time safer.
And the transducer box is the same. We had an experience before on the San Marco, a boat that we were trying to repair as well one time, and it hit the echo sounder, it broke it off, and water started coming in and the boat sank. So with that system, you don't have this problem, because that system, it's sealed. So if you lose the echo sounder or damage it, you're still safe. So that's it.
Yes.
Easier to change it.
And easier to change it because you don't need to go up in the water. We go outside.
We can go outside, but I don't know. Maybe for today we
I think we said enough for today.
Yes. We won't tire you more, but I think you see pretty much a lot today. I hope everybody appreciate, and yeah, leave some comments, guys.
Everybody is happy, and we thank you again for following us and for subscribing to the channel.
And more videos are coming.
More videos are coming. We're a bit back behind, but now we have Kamil here who's helping us with the videos, which is great. And hopefully we'll give you more videos soon.
Yes. Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
See you.
See you soon. How do you stop?